Whilst we're on the topic of NBA 2K, Kevin Durant, who's the cover athlete for NBA 2K15, was recently injured. He's broken his foot and he'll miss 4 to 6 weeks of the start of the NBA season. Obviously, Kevin Durant, everyone's quick, and when I say everyone, really one media company, ESPN, is quick to say LeBron James is the best player in the world and best player on the planet. That's bullshit. It's debatable. It's so debatable. You can make a case for LeBron, but I mean, come on. Kevin Durant had one of the great seasons, great scoring seasons, really since first three-peat Jordan, so 91, 93 Jordan. And now, okay, they lost in the conference finals. I get that. They lost to the Spurs. They lost in 6 games to the Spurs. Miami lost in 5 games to the Spurs. But for some reason, LeBron was anointed after Kevin Durant's loss. LeBron was re-anointed as the best player in the world, which is such horseshit. It was ridiculous, and I just hate how it's such a here and now thing. So Durant is falling completely off the radar now, and the first 4 to 6 weeks he won't even be playing. It's not a significant injury. Let's not get it twisted. It's not like a Derrick Rose who's going to be out, well, who has been out really the last 2 seasons. It's not that bad. However, we could see some problems arise in Oklahoma through this. That team, despite all the talent and all the, I guess you could say, success. I mean, they did make the finals, the NBA finals, and they have made the conference finals the last 3 seasons. For all that success, they have underachieved considering the talent that they have had and they currently still have. There is very little structure to that offense. Now, if all of a sudden Durant is gone, Russell Westbrook, this becomes Russell Westbrook's team if it wasn't already. Which sounds insane, but if you watch the way they play, at times Westbrook is the dominant player on the court, and it's not Durant. That's not always a good thing because Durant is extremely efficient, and I am not criticizing Westbrook for this. I'm one of the biggest fans of Westbrook. You can go to the tape, you can listen to it. I've always defended him. However, what we could see is if they experience some success with Durant on the bench for an extended period of time with this injury, what's that going to do with Westbrook's psyche? And is he going to feel that he's no longer even an equal with Durant? Is he going to be potentially thinking that this is his team? And now you've got a clash. I don't think it's going to happen because I think they both respect each other, but the potential is there. And if this happened with Shaq and Kobe in 2000 and 2001, after they won a championship, there is definitely potential for this to happen now with Durant and Westbrook, especially when Durant has a much more submissive nature when it comes to his basketball attitude than what Shaq had. The reason the Lakers won, and they won back in that era, was primarily due to Shaq's dominance. And if Shaq was submissive to Kobe wanting to be the man, maybe we didn't get a three-peat there. Maybe we just get the first title. But Shaq put his foot down and said, no, this is my team. I'm not giving it up yet. It ended up causing the breakup, essentially, but they still got 3 rings out of it. Now, if the same thing happens here, with Westbrook really challenging Durant for the top dog, the alpha dog of the team, there could be some problems, and we might even not even get 1 ring out of this duo, which would be disappointing to say the least, because the talent has been there. You throw in Ibaka, you throw in other talent that they've had, like from James Harden, Caron Butler's been on that team. You've had all kinds of talent, and they've been unable to capitalize on it. And then you got Reggie Jackson, you've got Jeremy Lamb, you got other guys. And if they don't even get 1 title out of this in a fairly weak era, albeit a loaded Western Conference, if they can't get 1 title out of it, that is disappointing. And it would be a stain on both guys' career as well. I think, also comparing it to the Shaq and Kobe situation, Phil Jackson had a huge influence in actually resolving that and getting results. He didn't resolve it, sorry, but he still got results. Scott Brooks is nowhere near in the stratosphere of a Phil Jackson. and that was a huge component of why they were able to still be successful. So that's a significant, a potential significant development out of an insignificant injury. That's an interesting way to put it. But yes, the other elephant in the room is, are the NBA players overworked? And I'm talking about the top tier ones. Okay, yes, I get it. They're paid very well. And we'll get to that in a second. Kobe Bryant mentioned this too. But Durant, the last 4-6 years really, hasn't really had a genuine off season. And eventually his body broke down and he broke his foot. We've seen it with Paul George. We've seen it with Derrick Rose, Dwight Howard, Dwayne Wade. There's a lot of players, Kobe Bryant as well. Sorry, and almost forgot him. There's a lot of players that have had Team USA commitments, and then their body's broken down, and what really it affects is the NBA season. What I think should happen whenever there's a major competition, like a world championship or or the Olympics, whenever there's a major competition, the NBA season should be shortened to say 66 games, and it should start at Christmas. Let's be honest, the NBA season doesn't really start until Christmas anyway. Like the games leading up to that, it's more of a feeling out process. It's a marathon. It's not the NFL. It's a long run, and those early games really count for naught. Especially if you factor in how long the playoffs are too. You got we're talking championship teams. You got 4 rounds of 7, best out of 7, and that goes for another 2 months of solid basketball as well. I think that they should shorten the season. Yes, owners would lose money, and yes, players would lose money too because of the lack of ticket sales. But the NBA is changing. And what I say by that is, you all heard about the new TV deal. Well, I'm assuming you heard, and the new deal with ESPN and Turner. And we're talking billions of dollars per season now. It's approaching NFL. It's not there, but it is actually approaching NFL in terms of TV money. So the NBA owners can't say, well, look, let me rephrase that. We rely on ticket sales for the majority of our cash input. No more. That doesn't happen anymore. It's now TV money. It's no longer big TV money, big TV market money either. So it's not New York, Chicago, LA. Smaller teams will be getting a much bigger piece of the pie in terms of this too. And they can't look. Should we be expecting the play? Look, this is such a difficult. I can see both sides of the argument, and I'm not going to sit on the fence with this either. I would prefer to see the players get paid than the owners, because we watch the players play. I couldn't care less about the owners. Look. To me, an owner, I don't watch the games because a certain owner owns a team. I would never watch a Mavericks game because Mark Cuban owns them. Okay, I did, however, stop watching the Clippers because Donald Sterling owned them. But that was out of principle. But I've never gone out of my way to actually watch or support a team because of an owner. I've always supported teams because of players, and because the players, without sounding heartless, the players are the product. And if we're going to, as fans, invest money to watch it, whether it's via League Pass or buying jerseys or buying NBA 2K or whatever it is, or going to the games, of course, how can I forget that one? If we're going to support the product, we're supporting the product, not who's capitalizing on the product. The owners capitalize on the product more than anybody else. If the players are overpaid, then the owners are completely overpaid. And if the owners are completely overpaid, if we're going to say the players are overpaid, then we should be deducting, if the owners are legitimate about that statement and they feel that way, then okay, stop paying the players so much, but reduce ticket prices so the fans don't have to pay such huge amounts to go to the games and support the team. In the long run, that would actually work out better for the league because fans would actually be able to go to the games and enjoy the experience rather than watching it on TV because they can't afford to go to the games. And that's assuming they have cable or they have League Pass. If they don't, then they'll get their access to these games is very limited. So that's a whole lot out of a Kevin Durant insignificant injury. But yeah, there we go. And I don't think it's going to make a huge difference in terms of the Western Conference landscape unless if this completely implodes the situation at OKC.